Welcome to today's Explainer, everyone. I am so thrilled you're here. We're going to dive into something that literally connects us all, and that is travel. We'll explore different ways to see the world, weigh out the pros and cons, and of course, build up some fantastic English vocabulary along the way. So, let's jump right in.
So, how will you explore the world? Every time we plan our journey, we are faced with choices. And the way you choose to travel, well, it can completely change your experience, your timeline, and your budget. As we'll see today, absolutely every mode of transport has its own unique pros, meaning the advantages, and cons, the disadvantages. Let's look at what makes each method of travel so unique.
Let's start our journey on a macro level, taken to the skies. Flying by plane is just this incredible modern marvel, isn't it? It's absolutely perfect for covering massive distances.
The biggest advantage here is pretty undeniable. It's incredibly fast. A plane can take you across the entire globe in just a few short hours, making it the quickest way to travel, hands down. Now let's practice a key vocabulary word here: internationally. Internationally, it simply means traveling between different nations or countries. When time is your most precious resource, the airplane is definitely your best friend. Think about it. You could literally have breakfast in New York and dinner in London.
But as with everything, that incredible speed comes with a bit of a trade-off. Flying can be quite expensive. And then, well, there's the airport experience itself. Before you even step foot onto a plane, you have to go through mandatory security procedures. Waiting in those endless security lines, taking off your shoes, making sure your liquids are in those tiny little bottles, and unpacking your laptop, it requires a lot of time and, honestly, a whole lot of patience.
And because of that sometimes stressful airport environment, a lot of travelers prefer to just sit back, relax, and, as our source text beautifully puts it, enjoy beautiful views of the countryside. And that perfectly sets us up for our next option.
Section 2. Welcome to the railway. Scenic train journeys. Traveling by train offers a completely different rhythm. It really encourages us to embrace the journey itself, rather than just rushing to get to the destination.
Let's pause right here for a fantastic vocabulary word. Scenic. S-C-E-N-I-C. Scenic. It means having beautiful natural scenery. So when we say a train ride is scenic, we mean it offers these wonderful, uninterrupted views of the natural landscape right outside your window. Picture rolling green hills, dense forests, or quiet countryside farms just passing by while you sip your morning coffee. Another major perk? Physical comfort. Unlike sitting in a cramped airplane seat where your knees are practically touching the chair in front of you, trains usually give you so much more space. You have the total freedom to stretch your legs, wander over to the dining car, and just walk freely down the aisles without feeling trapped in one spot for hours on end.
However, there is a distinct disadvantage here. Train travel can be much slower than flying. If you're trying to cover really huge distances, like crossing a massive country, a train just cannot compete with the sheer speed of an airplane. You're basically making a conscious choice to trade pure speed for comfort and scenery.
Now, let's shift gears and zoom in a bit further. Section 3, Freedom of the Open Road. There is just this deeply exciting sense of personal freedom when you pack up a car and set off on a classic road trip.
Here is a highly useful word for your English toolkit: accessible. A-C-C-E-S-S-I-B-L-E. Accessible. It means able to be reached or entered easily. Traveling by car makes the world incredibly accessible. You can drive right up to hidden beaches, tiny mountain villages, or remote campsites that planes and trains simply cannot reach.
The true joy of the car is the flexibility. You are the captain of the ship. You get to choose your very own route, take an unexpected detour if you see something interesting, and stop whenever and wherever you like to snap a photo or grab a snack. It's entirely about your personal choice and spontaneity.
But let's be realistic for a second. The open road definitely has its downsides. Driving for hours on end, it's physically and mentally tiring. You have to constantly stay awake, alert, and totally focused on the road. Plus, we have to factor in the rising costs of fuel and the absolute headache of being stuck in heavy, stressful traffic jams, especially when you're approaching big cities.
Section 4. Let's look at another popular option on the roads: budget-friendly bus travel. For millions of people around the world, this is the go-to method if you really need to be careful with your money.
Let's learn another excellent adjective here: affordable. A-F-F-O-R-D-A-B-L-E. Affordable. It means inexpensive or reasonably priced. When we say bus travel is affordable, we mean the ticket prices are usually much lower than what you'd pay for a flight or a train journey. And because it is so affordable, bus travel is incredibly popular among university students and backpackers. It lets you hop from city to city, cross borders, and go on these grand adventures, even if you're on a very strict, tight budget. It really opens up the world to people who might not otherwise be able to afford extensive travel.
However, saving that money definitely comes with a bit of a compromise. Bus journeys can be famously long. On top of that, passengers often have to deal with a lot less legroom, no real ability to get up and walk around, and just less overall comfort. You're basically trading spaciousness for a highly affordable ticket. Finally, Section 5. Let's zoom all the way in to the micro level. For true nature lovers, there is a wonderfully peaceful way to travel, exploring nature on foot, which we often call hiking.
And this brings us to an absolutely essential modern phrase, environmentally friendly. Let's practice that together. Environmentally friendly. It means not harmful to the environment. Exploring on foot allows you to deeply connect with beautiful landscapes and breathe in fresh air, all while leaving absolutely zero pollution or carbon footprint behind.
But you know, traveling on foot isn't just a gift to the earth, it's a huge gift to your own body. It is extremely healthy cardiovascular exercise. Plus, it is arguably the most inexpensive way to travel. It costs absolutely nothing to lace up some sturdy shoes, step outside, and just start exploring.
But remember, you have to be the engine. Hiking is physically demanding. It requires real physical effort, strength, and stamina. Because of this, it's certainly not suitable for fast travel. I mean, you aren't going to cross the country in a single day on foot. Well, unless you have superpowers.
So what does this all mean? Well, every single type of travel we've discussed today has its own distinct pros and cons. The ultimate takeaway from today's explainer is that there is no single best way to travel. The right choice absolutely always depends on three personal factors: your final destination, your available budget, and your own personal preferences for comfort and speed.
And that brings us to the end of our explainer. We have mastered some fantastic travel vocabulary today, from scenic to affordable and accessible. As we wrap things up, I want to leave you with one final question to think about. Where will your next journey take you? Thank you so much for learning with me today. Keep practicing your English, keep exploring, and I'll see you next time.